Okay, so what we have here is a lighting control module off '04 Crown Victoria, and the problem is that this here little relay thing that's on the circuit board will burn out, and once that burns out, then you won't have any headlights, high beams or low beams. And this is a police interceptor Crown Vic, I should clarify that right away, and does not have auto headlamps. So I don't know if there's any difference in the lighting control module if you have auto headlamps or not, but this one does not have auto headlamps, so it's just a police interceptor Crown Vic. So anyways, this relay, the contacts will burn out, and I've seen a few tips on splicing wires into your connector here and hardwiring a relay into your wires into the connectors, and that'll work, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. But what I wanted to do is see if I could run an external relay. I ran my harness through the cover there, I broke out a couple of vents, and then actually desoldered this here from the circuit board, and then soldered my wires from my external relay in place of this relay, and that seems to work too. And basically push the wires through to the other side. The trick to desoldering these here is to have one of these, and this is a desoldering tool, and what it is it's a vacuum diaphragm on a spring, and all you do is usually from the back side, any push through component that goes through the circuit board, or even surface mount one that works on too, but just heat the back side of the pin that's going through, and then you just hit the lever here and point your tip here to the solder. As soon as you pull your soldering iron away, have the thing set and hit the button or hit the lever here, and that'll release the spring, and that creates enough vacuum to pull the solder out. And then once you get your relay, once you've desoldered all five pins of this relay, heat each pole one more time with your soldering iron, and then while you're heating it, just hit the lever again, and that should clear any solder out of the hole, and that makes mounting new components or replacement components, or if you're pushing wires through the circuit board to solder in, this here makes that process a whole lot easier. It's a big time saver versus heating and trying to work the component back and forth while you're heating it with your soldering iron to just pull the solder out. You could use wicking methods. A desoldering wick will work too, but I kind of like this here. Anyways, once you get your relay out of there, dismounted, this here is the pin out for how you want you look at your new relay, follow the wires, and as I have this thing here mounted right now, this here is the pin out of how you want these wires from each pin from this relay to mount into your circuit board. There's 5 holes in the circuit board. They're laid out something like this, and these here are the numbers, and I'll post this picture in Shopkey too, so if you want to try to do this to repair yourself, this should be easy enough to follow along. The 87 pin on this, I found out, is actually just a dead pin anyway, so that really, or the 87A pin. This relay comes in 2 styles. One is for motor control, I found, and one is for lighting control. And the lighting control layout means the 87A pin isn't even hooked up to anything, although it is mounted to the circuit board, I suppose, just for mounting purposes. But I didn't know that till after I looked up the specs on the relay. I looked it up on DigiKey or one of those websites for the numbers that are on the relay. It's an NEC relay, and I'll put the numbers there too. If you go to Jameco or DigiKey or any other electronic supplier, you should be able to buy like 10 or 20 of these in a batch. If you've got a fleet of these cars that you service, you may as well just replace the relay, as long as you're going through this much work anyways, and just fix the car that way. But since I don't do that many, I figured this here was a worthwhile method. A relay harness like this is about 10 bucks or so. So it's still a lot cheaper to do this. This repair takes about a half hour or so than buying a $300 new control module or whatever they want these days. Or you can send them into our places that will fix these for. There's getting to be more and more speedometer repair places around that will fix these things for you too and rebuild them. And maybe they replace all 4 relays that you see there, and maybe other components too, some of the FETs or whatever else is in there. But again, this here is the relay, or this here is the layout, and this here is the repair, and we tested it here for about an hour or so, and everything seems to be working fine. This relay doesn't click on and off till you turn your headlights on, and the high beam control is actually in the multi-function switch. So, or at least it appears to me to be. I have to look again at the wiring diagram, but I didn't hear anything clicking in there when I was hitting the high beams. And the high beams and the low beams do work, and the headlights, you'll hear the relay here click when you go from your park lamps to your headlamps. So that's when your relay becomes energized. So I guess that's about it. It's a fairly simple repair. I don't know, I used to replace a lot of these. I wish I would have found out about this maybe like 5 years ago or so when I was working on fleets of these, but not so much anymore. I think Ford's improved these things a little bit, or has gone to even different methods of powering their headlamps. So again, here's the layout, and here's the repair, and everything's pretty simple. It helps to have a good soldering iron, some solder, a desoldering tool, and that's about all you need. So okay, that's about it.